melao ya batho ba, it was protecting the bana ba lo they were not privileged when the father dies to make sure that they get their own inheritance. But those laws could not protect a son of a prostitute. So when the father died, Jephthah was left alone. He had to find ways of surviving by himself. To a point where he had to be cast out. No, you are a son of a prostitute, therefore you cannot partake in the inheritance of our father. Agubiwa Jephthah, he had gone to another place, and he lived his life there. Very painful. After some time, his own family, his own brothers, attack. When the enemies were attacking them, Jephthah, because now Jephthah grew to become a very strong man. Then they sent a message to him to come and be their leader. Jephthah, if I come and if you want me to be your leader over certain conditions, this is how things must happen, I must be in charge, and so on. And my fellow Jephthah had to come fight for them. But the moral of the story, they rejected him. And they did reject him, until they were in need. Because people are like that. Sometimes people can reject you when they feel they don't need you. As soon as they realize, or no, we need you because there's something that says we need you, that's only then they come to. You know, there are people who are not ashamed to pick up a phone. Our phone because I'm stranded. Mara for the past 3 months, ladies. Where do they even get the audacity, I wonder? But that's what happened to Jephthah. Now that they're in trouble, but Jephthah, come and help us. Awasar, the son of a prostitute. But Jephthah, come and help us. Rejection is very painful. Very painful, and I want to go into it. Not long and see what it can do to a man. But also there's another story in the Bible of David. And in the Bible, we are not given explicitly about what happened to David, his mother, and his birth, and so on. But the history behind the life of David, we are told in history that David's mother, after she had other children, le Papa David, it came a time where Papa David decided to know, man, it's not from our tribe. As a result, and then he decided that I will not know my wife anymore. From now on, I will not know my wife anymore. And it's not only about the mother, it's also from the grandmother. But then he said, I won't know my wife anymore. And then history shows that when he decided I won't know my wife anymore, he then said, I will take the maid, the woman who was helping them, to now be a concubine. And it happened that one day, the mother to David, your husband wants to know me sexually. Therefore, let's come up with a plan. This guy is so we know the story that then the mother of David disguised as if the maid. She went in and then they knew each other and then she fell pregnant. After a few days, few months, the father realized that the mother of David was pregnant. So it means this woman is going around, she's sleeping around. This pregnancy, I say, you are carrying a bastard. Therefore, she was treated like that, and the mother of David never defended herself. She was treated like that. Now the brothers to David, the son of the prostitute. Because your mother, and then if you follow that history, then you realize David actually was sent to go to dangerous places, where they knew there is a bear so that he may not come back in the evening. Where they knew there is a lion so that he may not come back. But surprisingly, he was coming back every time. They sent him there. Because he was a son of the prostitute. Yeah, another one airing, did you nobody push a stick. They could not carry a plate because he had to have a plate that was not meant for human beings. It's like it's a plate that is supposed to be used by dogs. That's rejection at its best. But pusha sovar and he will eat there. His friends were the sheep. At home, nobody was just close to him because he was the son of a prostitute. Yes, his mother knew the truth, but the mother never disclosed, and he was not the son of the prostitute, but he was rejected to the core. He was a messenger, he was a shepherd, he was everything. But little did they know that sometimes rejection iruda motho bophelo. Rejection will teach you life, because now I'm on my own. Imagine you are a David, you are in the wilderness. There comes a bear. You've got brothers who are even stronger than you. None of them is there to protect you. You must find a way to deal with that bear. It's either you're going to die in the hands of this bear, or you are going to kill this bear yourself. He had to find ways, and he killed it. And even after killing it, he kept quiet. Who can you share with when you are rejected? I mean, you are a son of a prostitute. How come you come here and share victories that we had in the wilderness? Rejection will make you to keep things to yourself, because you know that if I come here, I tell them today a bear came, I killed it already. They will just say, utomile, mwana prostitute. And tomorrow comes a lion. I don't know, if I did it yesterday, you also killed a lion. And he kept these things to himself. Rejection does that. No, nobody will believe you. If you share this, no one will believe it. Then you keep it to yourself. But one day, you are sent now to go and give them food, because to go there, the best brothers are there, having now to fight with Goliath, so that if they overcome him, they can marry the daughter of the king. So if you are a David, you don't qualify to compete at that level. When you are a reject, how can you even try to want to marry the daughter of the king? And he gets there comes Goliath, because opportunities have a way of presenting themselves. Then he started saying, but who's this man? And then what can be given to a man who can bring this one down? But Zama would discourage, no. But my fellow David was able to bring down the giant. And that's how his promotion came. You know, when you are rejected, everything in your life to happen, you put effort. No one will believe you that you can be a king until you bring down a Goliath. And somehow, I don't know, maybe God uses rejection as training to train you to be a better person. Because when people have done this too much to you, too much, you don't know what it means to fight for yourself. So this man, when he saw this thing, I've been there. I was born in battle. And I surely the lion, the bear, very serious. But there are other testimonies, and those things were building him to be a man that he became at the end of the day. So rejection is a way of building you and preparing you to be a better person. Amen, Brother Ron. I'm not happy to say these words, but I must say these words. All of us at some point, somewhere in life, will be rejected. You will either be rejected at work, you will be rejected in the family, relationships, in business, in somewhere. All of us will be rejected somewhere. Have you ever been around friends? What Thomas sense or no? I'm no longer needed here. My presence is no longer welcome here. Have you ever called someone, or call a? Dropper? No. Because it's like I'm bothering this person. And it's more painful when you don't even know why. You see, when you know why, it's better. Maybe I didn't do well in one area or the other. But when you don't know why, Mutanova called. Hello, how are you, my friend? Hello. And then in the middle of the call, yeah, hello. Yeah. Kirile to sandule chomo we. Unoring. Babucha keep a image, man. Okay, by the way, how far were we? Where were we? And this is supposed to be your friend. That one everything from God to Mugozi. Everything combined there. But never fail Nalukopan. Kafu. No better hello. Hi. Yeah, so all right. Thank you. All right. Or bye. I love you. Same here. But love you, Mutar, same here. Love you, okay. Love you, thank you. But love you, Mutar, thank you. What is thank you? Mutar, I love you. Apar, thank you. I don't want to say I love you. Kilebor one rad. No, nice to you. I love you, Kero. That's so sweet of you. Kero, that's what? That's so sweet. How? That's so sweet. Even if it's your mom, I love you, my daughter. I love you too. Well, Mama, I love you, girl. That's so sweet of you, mommy. What is that? When rejection, it's a levels. It's a levels. You feel rejected. Even in church, you can be rejected. Where you sit here, people about to Amahausulu. Ugo Raginyaki. How can I talk about Panabala? How fit about Patal? Because they don't want to be associated with you. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, when you are rejected, you will know. Or somehow, I'm not needed in this, whether it's a group, or it's a friend, or it's a family. And it's painful. It is painful. I was checking. I realized that in the Bible, there are many people who got rejected. Many people who experienced rejected. And but to count fellow whoever were used by God, all of them who were used by God had to be rejected. Most of them, in fact, if not all. Majority of them had to go through some kind of rejection. The first person who was rejected, Kaine. Kaine, in his case, was serious. Because Mudimu had to put a mark on him. So that everywhere he goes, people will not associate with him. Have you seen that in the Bible? God had to put a mark on him. After killing his brother, God had to put a mark on him. So that people can disassociate themselves with you. As if you are smelling. So he was marked. And when I looked at this, I realized that, there are people who are also marked like that spiritually. They get to a place, people just don't like them. Everywhere. They are doing good, people still don't appreciate. It's like there's a mark that says, Ashu. No, a no-go zone area. They keep friends for a week. The second week, friends are gone. If you keep a friend for 3 months, you will overtamato. Or this one I managed. Because nobody wants to stay around them for long. Some are out there, the attitude was sense. So Gaine felt rejected. And though, it was as a result of what he did. Because don't forget, you can be rejected as a result of what you did. It's not always on the other side. But sometimes what you do to another person, rejected. He was rejected because of what he did. How can you kill your own brother? Joseph was rejected by his own brothers. Baba Mijegalina, but he's a dreamer. When people start to reject you, they name you. They give you a name. There comes a dreamer. So Joseph was rejected by his own. And this one is the most painful one. Now I've learned, people everywhere can reject you. Maroka reject like a family. Yeah, how? It will talk with that thing. Because you wonder, where else must I go? If my own sisters and my own brothers choose to reject me. Moses was rejected. Moses rejected his own brothers by Israel. You remember? An Egyptian. Tomorrow, grab the same brothers fighting. No, we don't fight. But hey, wena, you want to do to us that which you did to that Egyptian. And the reason why he killed an Egyptian, he was helping them. Mara, today they use the same thing that he was doing for them against him. Out of your way. Out of your way. Not because somebody is forcing you. And then tomorrow something happens. Who said you must buy us food? Who said you must buy us food? You should have stayed with your money. And by you can't reverse the transaction. Eh? They can't do what? They can't vomit. And honestly speaking, Moses was helping an Israelite. Maybe that Israelite would have killed him. Would have killed, the Egyptian would have killed an Israelite. But because of the intervention of Moses, the other party are save batho ba go high. Tomorrow, you are a murderer. Don't think we don't know what you did to that one. And there was no time to explain. I did it because I loved you. I wanted to protect you. And he felt rejected to a point where he had to run for his life. He had to run and stay far from his own family. David, we already mentioned. Hagar was also rejected. Hagar, you remember Hagar was the maid of Sarah. She had a child with Abraham, and everything was going well until Banabailwa. And one day in the morning, Papa Abraham told Abudijeke Musadi Sarah, I'll tell your wife and the son to go, because my son Asai Pina, come on, come. Tell your wife and your son to go. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't sleep that night. Worried about what's going to happen to my son. Marafruli and I behave foolishly. And Fru are when I'm sad, Lingwa now, to time. I take a bottle of water, Abafayona, a burotonyana, Abafa, not worried or what's going to happen on the road. But Hagar was brought in by Sarah, not Abraham. It is Sarah Pelawariling Mukhalabaka Musadiso. Now, how rejection is voice I wonder what was going on in the mind of that woman. She was rejected. Because now, hey, this is painful. Hagar did not really experience Bopelo Makura before. Now she's now Musadiwa the Lord, Musadiwa Morena, Abraham, Bamufa treatment, Kishore kana kwa imile because never say sure Isaac Waitla, never treater if you know not done only in advance. Kishore lady purity in advance. So that Wanata fresh, she felt welcomed, she felt she has arrived. Suddenly the child is born, but send this woman. If you ask it send this woman and the son away. Now you have to carry a bottle of water and bread. You are walking away with your son. That's rejection. And I'm sure she was crying, Muslim. And they get somewhere, the child is about to die. Now she had to seek the face of God. Until Mudimar, go pick your child by hand. And then they see a well, God provided. Naomi felt rejected. She felt rejected even by God when she lost her husband and her sons. Imagine, the whole family, within a short space of time. You can be angry with God. Honestly, you can. You know, God love us all, honestly. You took my husband, took my son, took another son. Now I'm just left by two. And for her to even go to an extent of calling by two, she felt there's no more life. For her to even say, I want to happy and bear children, happy. There's nothing else that I can do to help this situation. Because God is God, He knew better. But the truth is, she felt rejected even by God. I'm sure she might have said, Mudim, how do you take my sons who still have a long way to go and you leave me here? I'm old enough. You should have taken me. Now I'm going back home. Is that Naum? And she's coming back. She went away, she comes back, who was married there, she came, that must have been very painful. Hannah must have felt rejection because Hannah didn't have children. The pain of not having children. Everybody bar more. Sure, anybody who's staying with someone another could attest or pain away. Up and down. So you end up now, if you have to send them, because cover pain. It's a very painful thing. Jesus was also rejected. The stone that the builders have rejected has become the chief cornerstone. He was rejected very much. I mean, he was rejected from David. When you reject David, you are rejecting Jesus. His own family rejected him. No, this one, he can't do anything. His own people, Joseph. In the congregation here. So who does he think he is? Because there's nothing better that he can give us. Amen. Bazalan, have you been rejected before? Have you ever felt rejection before? I might be talking to angels here. I feel. You know, there is a psychologist, Dr. Gay Winch. He wrote 5 things that rejection can do to a person. And I love the first one. He says, rejection piggybacks on physical pain pathways in the brain. What that means, gore, pain, go biology reflex arc. I think you're. I'm going to try our better pain. It's a Maya mind do fit go spinal cord, blah blah, and all that. Then you would it's all. What this man is saying, gore, rejection. As if physically. But the unfortunate thing, that pain, at least in the physical, the unfortunate thing, your pain, it goes to your heart. I need to read this line. The same areas of the brain that are activated by physical pain are also activated from rejection. So rejection causes you pain. That's why when people are rejected, sometimes instead of expressing their feelings, they just cry. Because man, and something I can say pain imo. Mara when I'm rejected, it hits hard on the inside. Number 2, we relieve social pain more widely than physical pain. The head of rejection is held on to more clearly than the physical pain we have experienced. What this means, pain ya like rejection, it lasts long. Pain ya something. If I can be bent now, for a week. I can even forget or Mara rejection. Anytime when you remember how it happened, it's serious than just a physical pain. It's a very, very, very dangerous one. Number 3, our rejection destabilizes our need to belong. We all have a fundamental need to belong to a group. When we are rejected, this need becomes destabilized and adds to our emotional pain. Very true. When you are rejected, many people who have experienced rejection, they come like this. But when they leave, they break my heart. The people who were rejected in relationships a tsene mothong motho a reng nka o nyala nka o isa lehodimong ka o tšea ka o isa to the moon ka o tloela from the moon. When you're about to fall, I pick you again. And o mo lebella o a promise, it's not playing. Aba o botse gore I wonder where you have been, you know, the rest of my life until ke ba so. I should have met you at the age of 16. By now would be fine. By then he's 57. We are pensioning him halabon. It's hard. Aru wuta solo wena ube shora awu amren. Ha. Wa Arab. Mutola fejano jigela within 4 or 5 months. Ntwela ya ubeta. Tomorrow when you meet somebody who speaks like that, legally genuine, it's very difficult to trust. And this is what this man is trying to tell us all. It destabilizes our need to belong. Even to a group. I mean, there are people who are so hurt in church that they don't want anything that looks like church. If they come to church, they will walk in, sit at the back. Amen. Somewhere. And now we're not there, and we are genuine, and we love you genuinely. Mara or suspect, or it's a matter of time. They are going to reject me. A black thing. You know makolodi? Yeah, no. Anything that looks black is a scorpion. We are not snakes. But we're now leon. So it is true that this thing, it destabilizes the need to belong. People then tend not to trust anyone. They don't want to belong to any group. How can I talk about the social what? Outside the social because and this is true. I don't know. I think we are created in such a way that we always want to protect our integral part. We want to protect our hearts. If we feel pain, we draw back. Na brother mo ngila mpoja ar motho ke re ke a monyala o no ntebella so a re ta bona ka wena ya o ta bona ka wena ba re tana bona re a le tseba le so bona batho is very genuine, is very serious. Mara motho o tsamane o kopane ditsotsi tse di nchin le tsa bebele phela o kopane ditsotsi tse di nchin le tsa o betha ka di verse a o sa tsepa le motho wa need. Mara let's not tell you the verse. I was studying akwisha when I was Bible. I tell you not according to Matthew chapter 5. I want to know a melt. Then how will I inside? Are you ever going to trust somebody who comes like that? Naki koleba trouble motware. Hona lo re kinyale mzalwane happy. Nkampe ko itopela motho ko taverning ki tlhatswetse yena. At least ke modira dibinyana waka ke tapela le ke rena why o bolela sware no ke robile pelo ke moruti ntsepiso re wa nyala motho na ke re papa ke kwa ba re wedding bells are ringing ke ena wa pere sutu e tshweu ka dieta tse di tshweu wa nyala a ke re ke a mo founela or no I am the past he's deleting and blocking the past mood. There is a lot of people, even those who will be watching this message on social media. Enough. Brother wa sharp nose wa worship team. And then the next thing, how do you then trust? Rejection, what it does destabilize our need to belong. Then we tend to not want to belong to anything that looks like that. Somebody once said this. The reason why I like kerekeng ya magoa. Now we too much go kerekeng tsa rena batho ba bantsho. Ba because rena per rena batho ba bantsho o apere se se chu re a bolela yo apara se white apara se blue re a bolela why apere se blue change apara se red no red molalatladi rainbow I don't know. So he was hurt too much and then he ended up going to a church where it was just a big church. But the truth of the matter is, if you are not fashioned that way, you are still going to struggle there. Because now, and so on. And I want to say, when you feel that way, don't accept that one and normal. You need medication. And sometimes we don't want to accept when we are hurt. We want to act strong and say, you know what, I decided or no, because this is like this, I move to this, or I will stop that one and do that. Yeah, I change this friend to move to that one. But we are ahead. Number 4. Ne? Rejection creates surges of anger and aggression. Yo, once people are rejected, especially more than once, ubale will never mind. Ubale will never mind. Ubale anger and aggression will never mind. And will never mind because you meet innocent people who don't know how much you are hurt. And little bulel, I was a khetamanzi. Too much. Lord, how do you feel? If we say things like, as long as I'm happy, I'm going to pursue that which makes me happy. Once you hear those words, we have been hitting walls very much, and we have been hurt to a point where we say, it's about me. I come first, and everybody else comes second. I hope the person I'm talking about is not here today.